Hey everybody, how are you doing? It's Robin Nolan, and this is a Live with Robin session, number 22 actually. And welcome to the show. This is going to be a great masterclass where we're going to look at rhythm. We're going to look at the Latin rhythm, the Gypsy Bossa and the Gypsy Bolero. Welcome to the show. Do me a favor, if you're watching this live right now on Friday, the 30th of August, it's 5 p.m. in Amsterdam, then send me a little message so I can know that you can see this and hear me okay. When I look to my right here, I'm looking at my laptop and I can see questions that come in. So please write in your name and say something that you can see me. Then I can know that this is working. So that would be great. Anybody there? Just type it in. Anyway, I'll carry on. So this is Live with Robin. We're talking about the Gypsy Bossa and Bolero. And by the way, we've got a new section, the Live with Robin section. You can see it above my head here. And we've got the Epic Library, where this is number 22. So when you go into that library, the archives, you'll be able to see all the Live with Robins that have been happening. And they happen every 2 weeks, by the way. And then, wait a minute, I'm just going to check. I'm not getting any, oh yeah, I'm live, yeah. Okay, great. And then you can, maybe it's a bit bright. Then you can pick one, and when you click on the link, it takes you to the campfire, and that's where the whole conversation carries on about the masterclass. And I sometimes post like little practice vids or charts, stuff like that. So anyway, today we're looking at the Gypsy Bossa and Bolero, and I've got a plan for this because I want to get your Bossa and your Bolero sounding really groovy and crispy, okay? So to do that, we're gonna go through this plan. Number one is the Gypsy Bossa, broken down. So I'm gonna break it down, literally beat by beat. Number two is the backbeat is the key to the groove. So I'm gonna show you how to get that backbeat. I've got a little technique which I use to really make sure that it sounds funky. Number three is changing chords, a secret to when you change chords if you want it to sound extra smooth, okay? Number four is open chords, Gypsy Kings style. And this is really useful when you're playing certain keys like E minor, for example. And then we're gonna talk about examples of bossas that you can use in the repertoire. You know, you've obviously got tunes like Bossa Dorado, Forza Fora, but there's many others you can do. And sound great. So we'll go through those. Then we're going to look at the Bolero, the Gypsy Bolero, and I'm going to break that down beat by beat as well. And we're going to look at Bolero variations as well. There's one other variation which I want to show you, which is actually a bit easier, and it also grooves if you get it right. And then we're going to look at Django's Bolero. He wrote this tune called True Blunt Bolero. So I'll play a little bit of that, and we'll look at other examples of tunes that you can use the Bolero rhythm with and make it sound really cool. And then how do you make all of this sound good? Really the main thing to make all this come together. I'm going to talk about that as well. I'll talk about it through the whole masterclass and definitely at the end. So welcome to the show. No one's typed anything in yet, so I'm not sure if it's really working. But if you are watching live, please type something in, and that will let me know that this is broadcasting out. Anyway, I'll get on with it. So we're looking at the Gypsy Bossa broken down. So this is the sound. I'll just play a little bit of Gypsy Bossa or play Bossa Dorado to get in the mood, okay? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the rhythm, right? So if I break it down, it goes like this. Okay, so if we break it down even further, I'll get close. So we're going to go, right, that's the first bit we're going to do, okay? Just don't even think about anything else. We're just going to go. So it's down, up, down. And the down and the up, right, are going to ring. You can let the chord ring. We're using D minor. And we're using it with the, also with the A on the fifth fret of the bottom E string. So we're going to go like this. Okay, so the first two beats, the first two strums are going to ring, and then when you come down the second time, you're going to lift the fingers off the guitar, and you're going to get that muted sound. So it's going to be, okay. So let's just do that a few times to get used to that. It's the first bit of this rhythm. Down, up, percussion. Down, up, slap. Okay, I'm going to check something here just to make sure, in case the questions are coming in somewhere else. Just bear with me a second. Try that little thing as I'm checking this out. Let me just have a look here. Excuse me for this. Okay, so let's just check it out. Just in case the questions are coming in somewhere else, because usually there's a load of questions. So, okay, also not there. Okay, I'll just carry on with this. Okay, here we go. So that's the first bit of the rhythm, right? Down, up, down. And then you're going to carry on the rhythm. Okay, so then with the upstroke, you're putting the fingers back on the chord. So if we break the bar into 8 beats, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. And that's it, right? The same thing happens bar after bar. There's not really any variation. So once you get that right, that's what you're going to repeat, okay? So slow motion. Right? Okay, so if we take it up to speed a little bit more. Thing is that backbeat on 2 and 4, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And also, the whole thing of making all these rhythms sound good is not to hit the guitar really hard. So don't think you have to go like that. It's going to sound better the lighter you play. And those great players like Nusha Rosenberg and Honor Winterstein, and those great gypsy rhythm players, they're not always really hitting the guitar that loud. They're kind of in control and making it sound really lush quietly. Also, if you think about it, your hands, when you're playing the rhythm, certainly this rhythm, it's not really going to be so near the bridge. It's going to be much nearer the sound hole like that, which gives it a kind of warmer, lusher feel. So again, down, up, slap, right? Down, up. Okay, I think you've got it now. So that's the basic broken down gypsy bossa. Now the backbeat, which is point number 2, right? This is one thing you can do to make this sound better, in my opinion. Is not the backbeat isn't necessarily just the fact that you lift the fingers off the fretboard to get that percussive sound, but also it's your right hand actually making contact. Your right hand, not just the pick, but the right hand making contact with the strings on that backbeat. So like this. So that isn't just with the left hand, but it's actually your palm actually goes, hits the guitar like that, and that's what gives it a real percussive edge. And then it sounds like, and that doesn't matter even if I don't lift my left hand up on that backbeat. If I just keep it pressed down, you can also get the effect. And that's actually the way that I would play. So if we speed that up a bit, it would sound. Right, so I'm actually hitting my palm on the strings of the guitar, and that's what's giving it the percussive slap. And that's what I think, in my opinion, makes it kind of sound a bit more authentic, a little bit more Gypsy Kings style, right? So it's not just, it's the other way, right? Okay, so try that backbeat out, see if you can get that comfy. And that's what whole rhythm should be around anyway. What you don't want it to sound is like this. I sometimes hear this. A rim away, a rim away. You want to avoid that and make sure the backbeat is on 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Really important. Another thing I've got here, point number 3, is changing chords. So when you change chords, you don't have to do this, but if you actually look at it under the microscope, for example, the first 2 chords of Bossa Dorada go from D minor to E7, right? It actually goes, if you look at the rhythm, there's a moment when you change chords where there's actually open strings on the upstroke. So, right, see that? You got that moment when your hand's going to move, but you have to keep the beat going, where the strings kind of openly ring like that. And that's okay, and you can do that, but sometimes it's nice to precede the chord on the upstroke, so the next chord, you've already got the left hand in place to catch it on the upstroke, right? So if I do it like that, then it sounds even smoother, really, so it would be like this, so. Motion. See that? So catching on. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So try that if you want to make it sound even smoother. Just kind of proceed, get there like on the end of the next beat. Just try that out and let me know how you go. Of course, with any of this, just we'll carry on the conversation in the campfire, right? Now, open chords, sometimes it's nice to use, and this technique of using your, right, dampening the strings with your right hand physically, not just with the bringing up of the chord on your left hand. This helps with open chords, so when you've got a big E minor, right, excuse me 1 second, if you've got a big E minor, right, and this sounds really great on something like Forza Fora. If I played Forza Fora, you couldn't just do it with the, because you can't just mute the strings, because you've got these open strings of the chord ringing, so you have to go. So when you play Forza Fora, just practice, make sure that you're using that, right, that is the, so whatever, my hands are actually fretting the chord there, but it's just going, and you have to do that by having your palm mute the strings, literally, physically, on the guitar. So that's really important for the Gypsy Kings kind of sound using the open chords. So again, I'll play Forza Fora. that was point 4, which is the open chords, Gypsy King style. And now it's let's talk about which tunes you can use the Gypsy Bossa on. And I was demonstrating Bossa Dorado in the beginning, right? It's the most famous. You got Forza 4, right? We just played that. Now I was just thinking about it, and I mean, there's other tunes. I've written this tune called Number One. But also, you can actually use. I was just thinking about it. You can actually use like Dark Eyes or All of Me. You know, if you tried All of Me, for example, or any tune that you know, it might add a little bit of a different vibe to the set. If you just you don't have to learn a new bossa, but you could just already take an existing swing tune and make it a bossa tune. Swing Gitan, this one. So it usually goes. Sounds pretty cool like that. All of Me as a bossa. Works. Right, All of Me. Dark Eyes could even work. So if you don't know Bossa Dorado or Forza 4 yet, then you can always just adapt any tune that you already know into a bossa. And it always sounds good in your set, in a jam. It's always nice to do a bossa. And so it's really worth getting this rhythm worked up and sounding good, okay? We're going to look at the bolero now. This is about the bossa and the bolero. And this is a tune which Django wrote. It's called True Blant Bolero, and that's kind of the reason that we started playing boleros in this gypsy jazz music. And you can do many tunes in bolero, so let's just look at a tune which I sometimes do also is Besame Mucho. So it's a really good rhythm. And let's just take this chord for now, the D minor 6. And then if I break down the bolero rhythm, how it sounds best, I think, is like this. Right, so it sounds pretty gnarly, right? Sounds pretty cool. So what's happening? You're going, right, one downstroke, letting it ring. And then you've got this down, up pattern. Right? And when you get to the end, you're making it short. Right? And then you carry on just like playing swing. So. That's basically the rhythm. So. Right? up and it can sound pretty crispy, kind of get that flick. Like that. On Troublant Bolero, it's the most common tune that you're going to play in this repertoire. You're going to start with an E major 9 kind of chord, and you would play it like this. You could play the bass note, the B there on the 7th fret. So, do, re, do, re, and the rhythm will go. Same thing, right? Slow motion. A bit faster. Right, so you can just practice that. Okay, I got a question from Bass, who was asking, he posted a little video of Honor Winterstein playing the Bolero rhythm, playing this tune, Troublant Bolero, with Dorado Schmidt, and he played a different version of the Bolero rhythm, actually a lot easier, but also really groovy if you get it right. It sounds something like this. See, it's... basically just making it a bit easier, so it's like right with the chord. You should make it a lot simpler than so it's just, again, it's really important to have that backbeat, right? So you've got to put your body into it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll post that video that Bass was referring to with this question, so you can see the difference in the rhythms. And I'll post another video of maybe my brother playing this rhythm. He does it like that. So there's a couple of variations. Django's Bolero is a beautiful tune to learn. I'll have to get another rhythm player to play for me. But check out Troublant Bolero. It's a great tune. I'll post a couple of versions below this video in the campfire, right, so we can get a musical reference. But it's a beautiful tune. Also, you can use the Bolero. You might use it in some ballads when you want to make a ballad a little bit Latin. You could you could use like Manoir de Marez, usually a ballad. So a ballad, nuage. Could sound good. So just try. I think any ballad really could sound good with a bolero rhythm if played slow enough. Now, at the end, I've got this thing which says how to make all of this sound good. And like I touched on in the beginning, it's playing it soft really, and it's hard for us because you know these rhythms are quite kind of physical, or they appear to be physical, and we kind of try and keep it that kind of Latin urge, that Latin vibe. But in the end, when you play soft, like it's going to sound a lot better and groovier than if you try and push it, force it. And it takes control to do that, you know, to play G minor to A7, which is swing gitane, right? That's the one I thought sounded good, was a gypsy bossa. You've got to play that real soft style, not really attack the guitar. So that's the big tip, right? Take it easy, don't hammer the guitar, let the guitar do the work, and just make it groovy, but you know, not too over the top. So let's just recap what we did here. We looked at the gypsy bossa and bolero, broke down the gypsy bossa, right? Remember, just broke it down. We talked about that slap, which is really important, in my opinion, to get that more of a Gypsy Kings vibe. It doesn't have to be loud. So trying to get that backbeat with using your flesh, using your hand on the strings there. We talked about if we want to make it even smoother going between chords, we can precede the next chord on that upbeat. So instead of we go like this, catch it on the upbeat. So that's a good little tip if you want to make the sound extra smooth, but you don't have to use that all the time. Open chords, that is really important that you get that physical slap on the strings there to stop the strings ringing. But it does sound great on a song like Forza 4 and you've got those open strings. You make them not just go is by using your hand there to keep it in control a little bit. Bossa tune examples: Bossa Dorado, Forza 4, my tune number 1. Bossas sound great on any standard swing gitane. Sound good on Dark Eyes. Sounded good on All of Me. It will sound good on anything if you've got the groove. Okay, so try it out. Gypsy Bolero. Okay? Right, that's one bar. Right? That's all you got to know. And then when you speed it up. But if that's a bit kind of, but you can practice this. A bit tricky, also sounds groovy, like Bass pointed out with Hanno Winterstein. Right, just making it simpler. Right, that's also going to work. And we looked at Django's Bolero. Check that out. It's called Troublante Bolero. It's a gorgeous tune, and maybe I'll post a couple of versions and could even post a chart for that. It's a really good one to learn. And then how to make it all sound good is not to overwork the guitar, but just let the guitar do the work. So don't get too physical with these rhythms. Play them subtle and smooth, and the lead guitarist will love you, and it will be groovy, and people will be dancing, and that's what it's all about. So that's it for this Live with Robin. Thanks for watching. This is going to be hosted in the campfire. You can see above me, if you're still in the Live with Robin section, there's also the archive there, the Epic archive. This is issue number 22. and leave a comment below this video. If you've got any questions, I'm here every day helping you. So that's it. Love you and leave you. See you soon.